And finally, Titus 3:5, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us. So indeed, we are saved by faith without works. Then what does Paul mean by saying, work out your own salvation? The answer lies both in the context of this verse and the meaning of the Greek word work out. First, let us understand the context of this verse in question. From the very beginning of this letter, Paul makes it clear that he's writing to saved people. He begins by calling the Philippians saints or holy ones. He mentions their fellowship in the gospel and that he, God, who hath begun a good work in them, their salvation, will continue it until the rapture. He then calls them brothers, a term he uses for fellow believers in Christ. He tells them to live in the manner that is worthy of the gospel. And he even mentions that their persecution is an evident proof of their salvation. And that's just in chapter 1. Then in chapter 2, Paul gives the greatest example of humility and obedience to living the purpose God intended by describing how Christ set aside his glory and became an ordinary man and was willing to obey the Father even to the point of dying on a cross. With this as the context, Paul then starts verse 12 by saying, wherefore. This connects what follows with what he just said. He says, as ye have always obeyed. Obeyed what? Obeyed God's will as Paul taught them. He goes on to say, as in my presence, now in my absence. Continue obeying. Work out your own salvation. Notice it does not say work for your own salvation. Well, what does that mean? Well, the Greek word workout means to bring something to its full expression, to carry it through to its visible result. In other words, live like you're saved. Display it. Let the world know that you're saved. Why does Paul have to say this? Because they were being persecuted and they were afraid to show it. He then goes on to say, shine as lights in the world in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. That's how you work out your own salvation.